John Kavakis here with another edition of My Take. And today we're going to talk about Goldvarg's 1949 Crossley. Now this has been a hotly anticipated model. We saw it first in Chicago in March. We're going to get a closer look at it today. But let's give you the background on Crossley first. Crossley was an independent automobile manufacturer in Cincinnati, Ohio. Started production in 1939, went all the way to 1952. Now, there were a number of innovations that Crossley brought, in particular to the American car market. And I don't think a lot of people recognize how ahead of their time they were. But they had the first affordable overhead cam production engine for a production car in the United States. They had the first use of the term sport utility, believe it or not, on a small convertible type of a wagon type thing that they had. It was a pretty unusual vehicle, but they called it a sport utility. It was the first American use of four-wheel caliper disc brakes, and it was the first post-war American production sports car with the hotshot. You've heard of that before. Production was interrupted for the war, but there were a lot of them made by then. They were on the secondary market. They were highly popular, mostly because of gas rationing during the war. They were getting 50 miles per gallon. They resumed production right after the war, and they were fairly popular. But, you know, as the other manufacturers began to ramp up production, there were bigger and more luxurious, roomier cars available. People were starting to travel around. Gas rationing was gone. Crossley struggled to survive, and ultimately they finished up in 1952. So I've got all three of Goldvarg's versions here. We're going to get them out of the box and take a look at them. But we got this one here in medium blue. It comes in jonquil yellow, and it comes in a familiar Pan American livery. So we're going to get them on the turntable and take a close look at them. Now, they are highly detailed. You know, I've come to expect this from Goldvarg. Finish is fantastic. The chrome trim is looking really sharp. They've just done a beautiful job on it. But these things are small. They are accurate to scale, and they are incredibly small. This is the medium blue that we have here. I'll tell you something, there's some detail work on this that is just phenomenal. You take a look at the front end. The front ends are different, in particular on the jonquil yellow. They match your production units, but the lensing is just beautiful. The little turn signal lights mounted on the bumper, really well done. Great looking grille, great looking adornment, the hood ornament, the side trim just below the door line. That antenna, very nicely replicated. The windows, the window frames, just excellently done. Very clear glazing here. The wood grain is very realistic. You take a look at the wheels. They've done a great job on the wheels. There's a lot of just a lot of dimension to the wheels. They've done a nice job with the white wall tires. The tires are the right size. That luggage rack. Now, these models come with luggage on top. I'll get a picture of that for you. Luggage comes in a separate package, but that luggage rack is an absolute work of art. It is extremely delicate. You have to be careful when you're putting luggage on. But it is necessarily so because of the size of the luggage rack on the 1/1. If we're going to make it 1/43, it's got to be delicate. So the back of the car, well done, great emblems, great lensing in the back, just a beautiful car. The jonquil yellow, really nice as well. Doesn't have quite as many features on it, but this was their standard station wagon, so it didn't have the luggage rack on it. But notice the difference in the front ends. Notice the details on it. You know, these are hard things for a model manufacturer to do, and it's doubly hard when you're trying to hold the price, as Sergio has done. So the jonquil yellow is just as beautiful. The finish is great. The interiors are really well done, and you can see inside the interiors. Now, it's small. You got to get a light in there to take a look, but the dashboard, the windshield, the steering wheel, all of it is really well done. Different type of wood grain color and graining on this one. Sergio really stepped up to give us different models. And the same thing is true of the Pan American one. It's just a beautiful model. The graphics on it, the images and everything, really well done, really well picked out. Great wheels, different than on the wagon and different than on the jonquil yellow. That front end is just as beautiful. The back end is great. It's got the luggage when you get the Pan American. This is just a really, really nice car. And I'll tell you something. Sergio keeps on knocking these things out of the park. He does a beautiful job on them. He insists on the details. The colors are right on this one. The details are right, and the price is right too. Now, they've been out for a couple weeks, and if you're interested in getting one of these, you got to hit your favorite dealer or get a hold of Sergio. You can go right to his website and order directly from there. If you're interested, I wouldn't wait. It's going to be a popular model. We don't know when it's going to come back again, and that is my take on Goldvarg's 1949 Crossley. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor. Would you go down there in the right-hand corner and hit the like button? Of course, we'd like to have you as a subscriber. The channel's been growing in leaps and bounds lately, and I appreciate everybody that subscribes. That'll keep you up on the other videos that are coming. I got several more videos coming down the line. This is my take. I'm John Kavakis. Thanks for tuning in.